Hi, I'm Delegate Patrick Hope, and I'm coming to you today with my first weekly roundup, something I'll do every week to conclude the happenings for the week in the Virginia General Assembly. This week we kicked off our 46-day session for the 2011 year, and I unveiled my legislative agenda for the year. Let me tell you a little bit about some of my proposals that I've introduced. First is to introduce a bill to preserve and protect our Medicaid program for future generations. Our Medicaid budget has grown an unsustainable 1,600% over the last 27 years. This is an unsustainable course that is leading to a crisis. My proposal will slow the growth of Medicaid funding growth and save taxpayers money. It'll do it in three ways. First, it will eliminate the ID, intellectual disabilities, developmental disabilities waiting list. We currently have 6,000 people waiting on the waiting list to receive home and community-based care. Secondly, it'll pay our providers, our hospitals, and our doctors additional reimbursement so they can keep their doors open to expand access to care for all Medicaid recipients. And thirdly, it'll provide tobacco cessation programs to help people quit smoking. It'll do all this by increasing our tobacco tax from 30 cents, the 50th lowest in the entire country, to the national average, which is $1.45. Secondly, my other bill that I've introduced is we'll ban firearms in the Capitol. Current practice now going into the Virginia Capitol is that anyone is allowed access with a permit to carry access throughout the General Assembly building into the Capitol. My bill will ban this practice. Essentially what it will do is establish a process by which someone comes to the Capitol or General Assembly building with a firearm. They'll simply have to give it up at the Capitol Police. They'll hold it for them while they go about their business, and upon exiting the building, they'll be able to repossess their firearm. First, the Second Amendment allows us the right to carry arms, and I support that greatly. But it's not absolute. We can't carry a gun into an airport. We can't carry a gun into the federal courthouses or the U.S. Capitol. Why should the Virginia's Capitol be any different? I want to preserve and protect people, our visitors that come to the Capitol, our staff, and all public officials. Another piece of legislation that I've introduced has to do a lot to do with my public health initiatives. I want to ban smoking in all government buildings in the Virginia General Assembly and all local government buildings. Right now, that practice is still allowed, and I want to ban it for good. I also want to tackle obesity to help people make proper food choices so that they can live a healthy life. Obesity is linked to heart disease, diabetes, and a number of cancers. But just by adjusting some of the things that we do that you wouldn't really notice, like choosing foods with lower sodium and saturated fats, can save people's lives. And I also have a bill that will allow to have automated external defibrillators throughout the Commonwealth, in all of our schools, in all of our government buildings. This also will save lives in the event of a sudden cardiac arrest. And finally, this session will be filled with such initiatives that the governor's in his current budget, with fresh new cuts that we need to make sure that not allowed to continue. An irresponsible plan to borrow billions of dollars for our roads, and a revival of this summer's the governor's plan to privatize our ABC liquor stores. Well, that concludes this week's roundup. I'll come back next week with another update. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.